Good morning, you're watching the breaking news show right here on CNN News 18. My name is Toya Singh. We're going to walk you through all of the country's top stories. But first, for the first time on national television, Home Minister Amit Shah giving the numbers for all the states. So the numbers that he believes the BJP is going to win on June 4th. He says before 12:30, the BJP will be crossing the 400 mark. Listen in, this is an exclusive conversation with Group Editor-in-Chief Rahul Joshi.
अगर आप पहले दो फेजेस को देखें और इसकी चर्चा काफी चल रही है कि वोटर टर्नआउट थोड़ा लो रहा है, कुछ स्टेट्स में 5-6% भी नीचे रहा है वोटर टर्नआउट, तो 400 पार का आपका नारा है, 370 भारतीय जनता पार्टी, तो क्या गाड़ी पटरी पे है? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि कुछ रेल
पटरी पे है जी। आप परिणाम के दिन देख लेना, 12:30 बजे के पहले एनडीए 400 पार कर जाएगी, मोदी जी फिर से प्रधानमंत्री होंगे। जो लोअर टर्नआउट है इसके बहुत सारे कारण हैं। 12 साल के बाद मतदाता सूची का शुद्धिकरण हुआ है, एक। दूसरा कारण है कि सामने से कोई लड़ाई ही नहीं है, जिसके कारण टर्नआउट पर एक प्रकार से इफेक्ट होता है। मगर हमारी पार्टी की टीम ने, मैंने स्वयं बहुत डिटेल एनालिसिस किया है। हम 2 चरण में 100 पार कर 100 से भी कई अधिक सीटें जीत के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं तीसरे चरण में। तो मुझे 400 पार के लक्ष्य में कोई दिक्कत नहीं दिखाई पड़ती।
महाराष्ट्र से आपको पूरी उम्मीद है कि 41 से
पक्का हम, देखिए आंकड़ा 41 का 40 हो जाए या 42 हो जाए, कमोबेश यही परिणाम रहेगा। महाराष्ट्र, मध्य प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, जम्मू कश्मीर, दिल्ली, गुजरात, कर्नाटक हम 100% रिपीट करेंगे। उत्तर प्रदेश हम 5 से 7 सीट की बढ़ोतरी करेंगे। ओडिशा हम 16 के आसपास जा सकते हैं, और 16 और आसाम में भी 12 के ऊपर चले जाएंगे, 12 भी हो सकती है। बंगाल हम कम से कम 30 सीट जीतेंगे।
Okay, we have 2 reporters with us to bring us much more in terms of context on this entire story. Our colleague Aman Sharma joining us live, our colleague Pallavi Ghosh joining us live to bring us far more in terms of perspective on this story. Both of them right now touring across the country. Let's go over to Aman Sharma first to understand more. Aman, the Home Minister making this declaration, 400 par beyond 12:30 p.m. Aman, just tell our audiences, what are those numbers looking like? So will that mean that the BJP makes a significant dent in the south like they're hoping to cross that number?
Well, it seems so. Toya, if you hear to what Mr. Home Minister Amit Shah is saying, that the 400 target is on track. He's giving a seat-wise projection of each state. Very clear numbers he's giving. The 2 most interesting numbers I found was about Uttar Pradesh and Bengal. Mr. Amit Shah is saying that they will add 5 to 7 seats in Uttar Pradesh. Remember, the last time the BJP had won 64 seats in Uttar Pradesh out of the 80 seats. Later, they won 2 more seats in the by-polls, which was Azamgarh and Rampur. So they are effectively at 66 seats right now. And Mr. Amit Shah is saying they will add 5 to 7 seats. This means the BJP is hoping to cross 70 seats in Uttar Pradesh this time out of the 80 seats which they are there in the state. In Bengal, he is saying that there are 42 seats. The BJP will hit 30 seats this time. Last time the BJP had won 18 seats in Bengal, shocking everybody. This time Mr. Amit Shah is saying that will be a record margin win in Bengal. They will win 30 plus seats. So if you add UP and Bengal, the BJP is in a way projecting that it is crossing 100 seats in these 2 states itself, which will be a big fillip to the BJP's chances NDA's chances rather to reach the 400 mark and the BJP's aim of 370 seats. I also found it very interesting what Mr. Amit Shah is saying, that they will repeat their mandate what they got the last time, their performance in the states of Gujarat, in the state of Karnataka. Karnataka, remember, they won 25 seats the last time. Some people are saying the BJP is a bit on the back foot in Karnataka, but Mr. Amit Shah is very clear that they are repeating their performance in Karnataka of 25 seats. Gujarat sends 26 MPs to the Lok Sabha. The Home Minister is saying that they will repeat that 100% performance which they got the last time. He's also very confident about the result in Madhya Pradesh. That will be a repeat where BJP had won 28 out of the 29 seats the last time. So Mr. Amit Shah seems very confident. Also, this very interesting point where he's speaking about that, there is disillusionment in the opposition camp. There is nobody in the opposition camp is saying ladai hi nahi hai. So this means Mr. Amit Shah is saying that on the other side, the spirit is very low. Maybe the voter turnout is also low because the opposition voters have not turned up to vote in these elections in those kind of numbers. So the Home Minister is sounding completely confident that the NDA is on the course for the 400 mark, which they have fixed for these elections.
Let's go over now to some analysis of that. Let's go to our colleague Pallavi to understand more. Pallavi, one of the aspects Aman was talking about right now was the need for the BJP to get 30 plus seats in West Bengal for this to come true. And if you just look at 2019's numbers, vote share wise, the BJP was not too far behind the TMC. TMC with 43%, BJP with 40%. Could the Sandesh Khali story be the thing that finally tips the scales for the BJP? Pallavi, do you believe on the ground?
Well, not just Sandesh Khali. So there are a couple of issues on which the BJP, the 2-3 planks on which, Toya, the BJP is hopeful of improving its performance from last time round. Of course, Sandesh Khali. Remember in the assembly elections, what worked in favour of Mamata Banerjee, and she would come out with a series of ads to make the point that all these men have come from Delhi to target a woman. And she played that woman card very effectively, and the statistics showed that women voters had come out in large number in defence of Mamata Banerjee. Now BJP is going to try and crush and counter that, Toya, by making the point that so much for being the only woman chief minister in the country where women were being raped and assaulted, she remained silent, and not just that, she shielded the accused, which is Shah Jahan Sheikh. So that is going to be one big pitch which the BJP is going to make, and in case the BJP is able to sway the women voters to its favour, that would give them a huge advantage. That's one. Second is corruption. I mean, I know there has been Sharada, Narada scam, so on and so forth, and the argument from the TMC is that it never really worked in assembly elections, but much has changed since then. I remember I travelled to Bolpur, which is the Shanti Niketan area, just to take a quick example of Anubrata Mondal, who has now been arrested under a cattle smuggling scam. He was responsible for at least 3 to 4 swinging of those Lok Sabha seats for the TMC. Now, in his absence, that absence is being felt, Toya, in the corruption charges. So that is also what BJP is raking up. And just recently we saw how in the teacher scam, the court had come down strongly and all the recruitments had been cancelled. The children have been affected, the teachers have been affected, and in Bengal that's a huge number. So it is on these planks where the BJP hopes and gets that confidence, as the Home Minister is pointing out, of getting at least 30 seats, which would be a huge number as far as West Bengal is concerned.
Okay, let's go over to our colleague Arunima now for a little bit more on election planks. Arunima, we know the BJP manifesto dropped the NRC. They were focusing on implementing the CAA. Just tell our audiences, you've of course been travelling across the country. Last time around in 2019, big furor around CAA, NRC. This time, what are you seeing?
See, I think that is why BJP decided to delink CAA and NRC. I think that realization came, and hence it took so much time for the Ministry of Home Affairs to formulate the rules for the implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act. That's why when you hear the Home Minister also, even when he came to CNN News 18, he said at this point, what is on the table is CAA. It is a central law. Whatever Mamata Banerjee might say, whatever the other India Alliance members might say, a central law a state cannot say we are not going to implement it. That is not within their purview. Of course, politically speaking, there is a little bit of a concern that as many applications as they expected from Assam, from Bengal, that has not come in. So they are waiting to see once the election process is over, to dispel all kinds of, fear-mongering that has been done by the opposition. That's what BJP calls it. And Home Minister Amit Shah in this interview also very confident that Citizenship Amendment Act is here to stay. Nobody in the India front or, anybody in the opposition has the power. Even if they are 1% chance, even if they are voted back to power, Home Minister is pretty confident that the situation in the country, the mood in the country is in favor of these laws like the Citizenship Amendment Act.
Okay.